Baltimore was one of the first cities that I started a national stage play in. I did a show a few years back, probably in 1999, I want to say. It was called Scissors, and that was one of my first national stage plays, and it started right here in Baltimore, so I wanted to come back. The Cleanup Woman is a story about a newscaster named Terry Adams who gets a job as an anchor woman, the first black anchor woman on this news channel. And when she gets the job, she kind of can't balance life between the job and home. So she hires this cleanup woman to come in and take over her wifely duties, chores, I should say, at home. And the cleanup woman starts to clean up a little bit more than what she's supposed to. You know, I really don't know. I just do it. I just do it. It's a lot of hats to juggle, but I've been doing it so long before I even got on this level of producing stage plays. You know, as you're coming up, you have to do everything. You know, so when I got to this level, it just becomes first nature for me. What influenced me to be a playwright and a composer? First, I want to say that I didn't choose the genre, it chose me. I didn't choose the art form, it chose me. It just came. I mean, it just, you know, it just kind of just flows out of me. You know, and it wasn't nothing that I was looking for, it just happened. With the characters that I have in Cleanup Woman, Christopher Williams plays the role of Stuart Adams. He is the husband to Terry. And he may have one of the toughest roles in the show because he has to kind of find himself between two women.
I play Stuart Adams, who is sort of like just a really cool guy, pretty typical hardworking family man, stands by his woman who's very, very driven, which is a hard thing to do when you're Stuart's more of a simplistic, you know, want to take care of the essentials of home and be the man of the house. And he has a unique woman because his woman's very driven. She's a top anchor person. And Stuart kind of always looks like the guy who is really dependent on Terry. But Terry, when the play unfolds, you find out Stuart is really the anchor of the family. Actually, I sing a lot in this play. We're customarily lately, I have gone in the lobby after the show and people are like, why didn't you sing? I'm like, well, I'm acting in it. They was like, yeah, I know, you should have sang. And it just, my role didn't call for it, but this one, I sing a lot.
Jackee Harry, she has the role of Terry's friend, Jasmine, who's kind of going through her own issues in the show as well. She has a relationship with a man that she's involved with that she's trying to collect child support from. But the whole twist of it is that it's not his child. But because he signed the birth certificate, he has to pay child support for it. And the irony of it is that she's back with the biological father.
I play a woman named Jasmine, and I'm a little scandalous because I got a baby, and the baby daddy paid me money, but he's not the real baby daddy. I'm with the real baby daddy, but he left me, and now I'm back with him, but I still want the other baby daddy, who's not really the baby daddy, to give me money. You get that? Actually, she was with this guy, played by George Wilburn, who I love, and he takes care of the baby because he just, you know, he loved her, and he's taking care of her baby, even though it's by another man. So she's politically incorrect, but she's a little manipulative, you know, but loving. But I'm the comic relief. I'm funny.
JD is he's a breath of fresh air.
He's a fool. Yeah.
He's no nonsense.
He's a fool who's a genius, or he's a genius. He's just wonderful. I've only known him now a couple of weeks.
Sometimes it's hard to gauge, actually, because I don't know JD as well as some of the other people because they were with him on the last run. And but he's just genuine, honest. He really is a purist for the passion of being a thespian, beyond just theater, and he's so willing to teach. but he is also a director. He's no nonsense. He's serious about what he's doing. So you have to really get focused with JD. This is not like a lot of the other shows where you just walk in and it's like, they kind of like, especially from people like me or Ralph Tresvant, and they're like, well, just sing, you know, Dreaming, or just sing Sensitivity, and, you know, just do your Ralph Tresvant or Christopher Williams thing, and that's cool. Which to me as an actor, I've always turned down, because I don't want to be Christopher Williams in a play. If someone wants to hear Dreaming or All I See or Promises, then, you know, I'd rather entertain that when I'm performing as Christopher Williams. But when I do these shows, I just want to be the character. And this is a season and a time for me to season the meat of my acting skills, and I'm getting ready for another season because I'm getting ready to go back to Hollywood, but I want to go back right. After New Jack City, I didn't want to just do anything and kind of just not feel like it was something I really had control of that I wanted to do.
He's brilliant. I asked him, I said, where have you been? I mean, he writes, he directs, he writes his songs, he writes the music, he's funny, he's got all these different characters, he'll tell you about it, but I met him in LA and they took me to meet him, and I asked him, I said, where have you been hiding? Under a rock? I called him little baby Luther, little Luther Vandross, because he's just so good, he's so talented. And he used to write for Alicia Keys, a lot of people, and he wasn't, you know, well known. Well, they didn't tell you his name, but he's really talented, and I'm really a workaholic, which I love, which is what I am. He likes to study intensely and rehearse intensely, and I like that, you know, I like somebody who cares. They'll learn about fidelity, which has been a very big topic this month with Oprah Winfrey. Giving that in Elizabeth Edwards, John Edwards, it's a very big deal, you know, and to women, it really does mean a different thing to a man as well, you know, and it's about unions and marriage and relationships. And there's 3 relationships within the play. There's one main relationship, that's the main theme, you know, about trusting and loving and continuing to trust and love as you stay married. Because some people get married, they don't realize it. It turns and twists marriages, and if you stay, you know, trusting in God, you can weather some storms, you know, but don't become something you're not. You know, that's what they'll leave knowing, and they will see some super talent. Not just me, you know, so it's like Thelma Hopkins, but J.D. Lawerence, and Christopher Williams is still fine. Wait till you see him. Oh, yeah. And George Wilbur, it's just a wonderful cast and great singers. Yeah, Deatra Hicks, she's to make you cry, singing like that.
Well, one message is that things aren't, without giving the show away, I will say that in life, things aren't always what they seem. That you really, we're in a fast society. Everything they want quick. And this play will show that sometimes you need to not jump to the conclusion and observe what's really going on instead of the surface of what you think is going on. And that's another thing, kudos to JD. I actually was reading the script as an actor, and it's so good, you're reading it as an audience also. And at some point, I'm even like, well, what's about to happen? And I thought I knew what was gonna happen. I had even talked to some of the other actors in the show, and by the time he started sending the next pieces, we were all wrong. Not to be religious or to discount anything that the people before us do, but you know, people call Muhammad Ali the greatest, but he is the greatest, to take nothing away from Muhammad Ali, but God seems to always send one in to break the vessel, and then he sends the one in to execute the finish. And I think Tyler was like, in a sense, Moses to break the vessel. And we're praying that JD's the one like Joshua to take it to the final frontier and execute the finish of what this chicken circlet that they wanted to not pay attention to, where the marquee of the chicken circlet is now probably the most powerful person in Hollywood as a black man.
I want them to take from the stage play, The Cleanup Woman, when they leave, anything that they can get from it. There's gonna be so much in there that to pinpoint one thing would be impossible. You know, I hope that there's a slice of life in every single scene that they can walk away with and say, I got that from it.
Here's a woman who gets all the love we girls leave behind. The reason I know so much much about her is because she picked up a